Well, I wasn't exactly planning on making this video, but you know what? Why not? Let's talk about the Game Awards, and also about a very specific Hedgehog character that had some announcements I liked. First, though, this isn't the Sonic show, so let's speed through some other notable things that I liked. That Persona 4 fighting game is getting some sort of re-release, or port, or enhanced version. Not quite too sure what it is, because I haven't played the original version, but it's made by Arc System Works, which means I'll probably like it, so that's fine by me. Final Fantasy VII Remake got a PC version, so that's cool, I guess. I still haven't played that either. Most importantly, though, Cuphead's DLC got a release date, finally. I am super excited for that. I actually had a Cuphead video coming up the pipeline for a while now, so that's a pretty fun coincidence. As for the awards, Psychonauts 2 got snubbed of Best Art Direction by Deathloop of all things. Forza Horizon 5 got nominated for Innovation and Accessibility for apparently having a sign language interpreter as an option in the game, which I had no idea about, but that's cool as hell. Metroid Dread only won one award, which I was a little bit sad about. And, my group had an aneurysm and a Black Plague swept Twitter. Yeah, sure, that's what we'll call it. And It Takes Two won Game of the Year, and I haven't played it, but it looks neat, so I'm fine with that. But obviously, the announcements that got my gears turning most were the Sonic announcements, because I am a slave to this franchise. We got a new trailer for the next Sonic movie, which I'll be referring to as simply Sonic 2, and the next 3D Sonic game, that being Sonic Frontiers. I have a lot of thoughts on each of them. I'm trying to remain optimistic, but also slightly more realistic. So let's start first with Sonic 2. Now, this was the announcement I was most excited for. I quite enjoyed the first Sonic movie and thought it had a lot of potential for the future, especially after seeing Tails, which I think I can get away with mentioning since it's been a year and he's featured prominently in the trailer. But anyway, a discussion on the first movie is for another day. The new movie feels like it's taking strides to be more Sonic-y, if that makes any sense, which I think is a good step. Like, I figure the first movie was supposed to be more of an origin story for Sonic and Robotnik, showing how Sonic started to use his powers and ended up on Earth, as well as showing how Robotnik started going against Sonic in this universe and showing his eventual transformation into Eggman. I think it worked, but it came with the caveat that Sonic and Eggman were really the only major Sonic-related things that the movie had going on, which is why I'm very happy that Sonic 2 seems to be trying to incorporate more things from the games. It was as soon as the poster they released for the movie, which, let me just say, what a great poster. We were able to see Tails again, the fact they put the tornado in the movie, which is really cool. Eggman's ditched the hovercraft thing he had in movie 1 for one that more closely resembles the Eggmobile scene in the games. And on top of that, one of his robots even looks like a Buzz Bomber now, which is really cool. It gave some good expectations going into the new trailer, so let's sift on over to that now. First off, I like how they start with the energy immediately. I think this trailer had an energy that was lacking in the trailer for the first movie, and especially the pre-redesign trailer, but I don't like to think about pre-redesign. I think the added energy shows a bit more confidence than before, and speaking of confidence, I think this does a great job showing off how Sonic has evolved since the start of the first movie. Also, did the whole thing of being in a nighttime city with Sonic on top and police driving in the streets below remind anyone else of the opening to Sonic Adventure? It's probably just a coincidence, but it's still cool. There were actually a lot of things that reminded me of Sonic Adventure here. Notably, I figure the water coming up from the drains after the explosion, besides being a fun gag, was a bit of a nod to that scene that Perfect Chaos had, and I especially felt the adventure vibes in the tornado and snowboard scenes. Next we get to see Jim Carrey rocking a look closer to Eggman. I liked him in the first movie, and I'll probably like him again here. Also nice to see they put Agent Stone in here again, since it feels like the writers straight up forgot about him like 3/4 into the first movie. I quite like the dynamic that he and Eggman had, so it's a pleasant surprise seeing him back. Next we see the Master Emerald, looking just as shiny and majestic as I always hoped it would. I really hope this means we get a Super Sonic in this one, because that'd make me lose my absolute shit. We have a really nice look at Tails here, looking slightly updated from his teaser in the first movie. I also really like the plane scene. It gives a good look at how Sonic and Tails are going to interact with each other here, since I was also curious to see how their dynamic would slightly shift with the personality of movie Sonic. Also, I think Sonic getting hit by the missile was funny. Then there's easily the best scene in the trailer that got me the most hyped up for the movie. Sonic going up against Knuckles. Just the way it's set up with the reveal of Knuckles, the line delivery from both of them, the way Knuckles just effortlessly, with one hand, grabs Sonic in a spin dash and throws that bitch on the ground. Hot damn! Speaking of which, he only said one line, but despite that, Idris Elba sounds real good as Knuckles, and I'm really excited to see his performance now. Also, I don't know why, but Jim Carrey saying Sonic meet Knuckles is funny to me. I am very easily amused. We also get to see Knuckles' movie design for the first time, and I think it might just look a bit better than the normal design. He's a bit bulkier to emphasize his strength, but not giant like Sonic Boom did. It's a perfect middle ground, and all around he just comes off as badass. So yeah, basically, the movie's looking really good so far, and I'm super excited to see what comes of it in the future. Now, Sonic Frontiers, the next 3D Sonic game. I have a lot more to say here. Now, first off, I'll just say this trailer was good. I didn't shit my pants like I did for the movie trailer, but it was good. My main complaint here is that I'm honestly so nervous for this game that I wish we could have had at least a small glimpse of gameplay, but whatever. Don't have much to say on the CG end of things, it just looks really nice. I mostly want to talk about the in-game bits we did see, and some info we have on the game. Firstly, let's talk visuals, and they look really good. Happy they're taking a step forward in the visual department, since I still think Sonic Unleashed is the best any Sonic game has looked personally. Although this does bring a concern that was something Sonic Unleashed suffered from. I really hope this graphical fidelity doesn't come at the cost of game performance, cause that kinda kill all of it. I'm especially eager to see how this game runs on Switch, not to put it down, since it can create some great looking games. I just want to make sure everything checks out here, especially after Colors Ultimate. That being said, as for the world itself, I mean, it looks really good, but it doesn't look much like a Sonic world. Like, if I showed you this screenshot with no context, I bet you wouldn't say, yeah, hedgehogs. I think some more Sonic-looking architecture would help here. And no, I don't mean Green Hill again, hell no. Just make it look like it would feasibly take place in Sonic's world a bit more. Alright, I know this might be a little weird to talk about now, but I want to get it out of the way so the video flows a bit better. Apparently this game is going to be written by Ian Flynn, which, let me just say, oh my god, yes. I haven't really gotten down with the writing of Sonic games for a while, and it's only been on the decline since Colors, if you ask me, so this is a great change. He's been writing the comics for a while now, and I've always liked how those were written. And if it means in the future we can get stuff on par with the Metal Virus arc from IDW, but in the games instead, then that's going to be huge. The website for this game, as well as its Steam page, do confirm that the game will be an open-world game, which brings about a lot of questions for me about the gameplay here. I really hope that this game has some kind of movement potential to allow you to run through the entire world. That is what I want most from this game. Quite frankly, in my opinion, if this game does not make the simple act of running through the world fun with a wide variety of movement options, then that is an extremely missed opportunity as an open-world Sonic game. There was this one fan game I played a while back called Sonic Project Hero. It's a cool little demo that only has a test room available right now, but what makes it engaging is the movement. You can do the lightspeed dash, the homing attack, which keeps your momentum after the attack, that's a nice touch. You can run on walls, spin dash, drop dash, and my favorite move, being able to swing on trees that you can then seamlessly transition into a drop dash or homing attack. This is the type of stuff I'm hoping to see in this game, because if it's just boosting across the world, I think that'd be a bit disappointing. Don't misconstrue me though, I care more about the game being generally fun. I just think that if we're getting an open-world Sonic game, this is the direction they should take. Or maybe for another take, look at a different fan game like Sonic Utopia. Pretty close to the adventure gameplay with a bit of a classic spin on things, but again, The way you move around using your abilities makes things fun, and there's even a few secrets to discover too. I'd also like to see what they actually do with the space. Now, I don't want it to just be an open world for the sake of being an open world. I want it to actually be worth something. If it's just a giant world with a main objective on the other end of the map from you, with maybe like one or two side quests in between, then I'm sorry, I don't really like that much. I want there to be a reason for me to explore and care about this new world, not just from a story perspective, but from a gameplay perspective too. If it seems like I'm being a bit skeptical and paranoid, honestly, that's 'cause I am. In terms of being paranoid, well, once this game comes out, it's gonna have been 5 years since Sonic Forces, with no other big games, and Team Sonic Racing did nothing to fill that void. If this comes out to be another disappointment, then I don't really know where that'll leave the series at this point, but that's a discussion for another day, probably. As for being skeptical, this is a big project, like a really big project. Making a Sonic open world game could potentially have a huge scale, which just makes me concerned as to if Sonic Team can even pull it off with the quality it deserves. I mean, you gotta remember, the last good 3D Sonic game, at least in my opinion, was Sonic Generations. That was 10 years ago, and that stings. I want to remain hopeful, but I'm going to need a lot more convincing before I feel confident in Sonic Frontiers, especially after the bastardization that was Sonic Colors Ultimate. Well, I think that about covers everything here. Overall, very excited for Sonic 2 and very nervous for Sonic Frontiers, and I really want to see how things develop from here, especially regarding Frontiers. Didn't plan on doing another one of these announcement overview things. I don't want to say analysis because that sounds pretentious, but either way, I do kinda enjoy making these, so maybe I'll do it again in the future. Besides, we're probably going to have another one of those Sonic Central presentations going into next year, so I'll definitely be on that. As for right now, though, I got some random videos coming up, one of which is close to being done, so with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you all later.